A very good evening. It's always a pleasure having you join me for RTV News in English. William Evans is my name. Let's begin with the headlines. The President of Rwanda's Senate has called on citizens to actively participate in the upcoming 32nd commemoration of the 1994 genocide against the Tutsi. While on the international scene, Pope Leo XIV has concluded a landmark one-day visit to Monaco, becoming the first pope to set foot in the principality since the 16th century. It's always a pleasure having you join me for the news. Now this is the news in detail. On Saturday in Malabo, Prime Minister the Right Honorable Dr. Justin Ssejjumva joined heads of state and government at the inaugural ceremony of the 11th Organization of African, Caribbean and Pacific States Summit. Addressing those present, the Prime Minister noted that as the global context evolves, the approach to financing must also adopt that, and that Rwanda believes that the Organization of African, Caribbean and Pacific States can further strengthen its role, not only as a forum for cooperation, but also as a platform that facilitates investment and drives economic transformation. The President of the Rwanda's Senate has called on citizens to actively participate in the upcoming 32nd commemoration of the 1994 genocide against the Tutsi, while urging vigilance against the denial and trivialization of the genocide. The appeal was made during the monthly community service exercise Umuganda held this Saturday. We do have details. During Saturday's nationwide community work, senators joined residents across the country in activities focused on preparing sites for the commemoration period. In the capital Kigali, Senate President Dr. François-Xavier Karinda took part in a cleanup exercise at Nyanza Genocide Memorial in Chichicho district. Participants said the activity reflects the continued role of Muganda in national building and preserving the memory of the genocide against the Tutsi. It's very crucial because we are still energetic, and by looking around, a big number are young people. I want to encourage other young people because I know many do not participate in Umuganda. This activity is symbolic of working together with each other in national building. In Rubavu district, residents in the same sector also carried out cleanup activities at the Commune Rouge Genocide Memorial as part of preparations for the commemoration week. We did some cleaning because the place was not very clean. From the time we began, there was a noticeable difference already. The area had overgrown grass all over, yet we wish that the commemoration week finds this place very neat. While speaking during the exercise, Senate President Dr. François-Xavier Karinda urged all Rwandans to take part in remembrance activities and to avoid any actions that could distress survivors of the genocide against the Tutsi during the commemoration period.
Abarokotse genocide yakorewe abatutsi tukabafata mu mugongo tukitabira meya yabibahamagariye.
For survivors of the genocide against the Tutsi, we must support them and also participate in all the commemoration activities that will be conducted for the 100 days. There will be different activities, and we call upon all of you to actively participate in these activities. He also called on young people, particularly those active on social media, to play a role in countering genocide ideology and misinformation. In such a time we are going to be entering into, you have noticed that genocide ideology in some parts gets reintroduced. This is not just within the country, but also abroad and on social media. I want to task you, especially the young people who are here, to play a part in fighting against genocide ideology. Across the country, other senators also joined citizens in Umuganda activities focused on preparing for the 32nd commemoration of the genocide against the Tutsi. Now, Rwanda's Ministry of Environment is calling on citizens to step up efforts to protect the country's natural resources with a strong focus on tree planting and forest conservation. The call comes as part of the monthly community service initiative, Umuganda, which continues to play a key role in advancing national environmental goals. We do have details. Residents say that they understand the importance of tree planting and the role it plays in improving livelihoods and protecting the ecosystems. Many have pledged to remain actively involved in environmental conservation activities. When we plant trees like we just did, with some of our leaders showing up and supporting tree planting efforts, it makes us very happy. With these trees in place, we can grow our crops well because of enough rainfall.
Abaturage bo muri Rutunga iyo twateye ibiti biradufasha tugahinga imyaka.
As residents of Rutunga, when we plant trees, it helps us grow our crops, and they are protected by these very trees. These also can be used as firewood when they grow up, in addition to influencing rainfall.
Bigakurura n'imvura, imvura imyaka yacu yo duhinze ikera.
The Minister of Environment, Dr. Bernadette Arakwiye, emphasized the value of sustained conservation efforts, urging communities to take ownership of protecting the environment.
Twahurije hamwe iminsi mpuzamahanga itatu. Umunsi mpuzamahanga w'amashyamba, umunsi mpuzamahanga.
We gather in recognition of three important international events, namely the World Water Day, International Day of Forests, and the World Meteorological Day. These three are complementary to each other. Forests are of great value. Water is a fundamental resource that helps us in equality because when water is available, then the girls and women can use their time more productively, while World Meteorological Day calls us to observe today and protect our tomorrow. It is clear that climate change is here to stay. Therefore, having the right information in a timely manner will help us mitigate effects of climate change, including flooding and others. The site we chose is just above Muhazi. It initially had a forest, which was harvested, but the land remained bare. So, by replanting trees here, we are trying to protect this area, and Muhazi, because it's a very active area, and of use to us as a community. During this Umuganda exercise, more than 10,000 indigenous trees were planted on the hillsides in Rutunga sector, Gasabo district, in the capital Kigali. The initiative forms part of Rwanda's broader climate strategy, which aims to reduce greenhouse gas emissions by 38% by 2030 and up to 53% by 2035. Tree planting is also seen as a key pathway to achieving these targets. Now, the ambassador of Zimbabwe to Rwanda, Her Excellency Charity Manyeruke, has urged African youth to unite and strive for success. Her message was delivered to participants during a cultural day event at Ines Ruhengeri on Friday, a celebration that showcased history, traditional tools, art, local beverages, cuisine, dance, and other elements of diverse cultures represented by students.
The Intercultural Days remind all of us that regardless of our different nationalities, there is something that can combine us all together, being one part. Especially for Sudanese, like we are coming from different backgrounds, different cities, and even different tribes. But even though we participate as one country, we are one.
Today means a great day for us all, as students at Ines, because it shows us the different cultures in Africa, and we know like our neighbors what cultures they present, what kind of foods they have.
Now, speaking on behalf of the ambassadors representing countries whose students study at Ines, The ambassador emphasized that African-rich cultural diversity is a valuable asset that should bring young people together. She called on African youth to remain united and to work hard to achieve their goals.
Reflection of Africa itself. As I look around, I see Africa alive. I see color, I see tradition, I see pride, I see our music, our dress, our languages, and even the food that we prepared, exhibited, and shared. Very delicious, I must say. We are one Africa. Go beyond the lectures, read widely, think critically, because Africa needs more than graduates. It needs capable minds.
Now, Ines Ruhengeri currently hosts 8,253 students, including 1,639 international students from 23 countries across the continent, highlighting the university's role as a hub for African cultural exchange. For many, Culture Day is more than a celebration. It is an opportunity to connect, share, and learn from the diverse heritage of the continent. To more news, 52 students from the University of Rwanda have been awarded funding after their projects were selected as the most innovative in a competition supported by the MasterCard Foundation. Each team received $5,000 to help expand further and develop their ideas, while the students are behind a range of projects aimed at addressing societal challenges. And they say that the support will strengthen their capacity to grow their initiatives and create impact. University officials say that the program is designed to promote innovation, but also help students turn ideas into practical solutions. The Deputy Vice Chancellor, Dr. Raymond Ndikumana, says that the funding should serve as a starting point for scaling up their projects. The MasterCard Foundation's education program supports academically talented students from disadvantaged backgrounds. This year, 740 projects were submitted, with 52 selected for the award, each receiving $5,000. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, in partnership with the British High Commission, organized a football tournament, bringing together staff from various embassies operating in Rwanda. Dubbed Diplo Cup 2026, the tournament featured mixed teams of men and women and was designed to promote gender equality, cooperation, and friendship among nations. The event also aimed to raise support for a local project that empowers girls and women through football.
The purpose is to bring together diplomatic communities, but also the wider community and families in a way that they don't normally have the opportunity. So normally people see each other in meeting rooms across tables, but this time they're meeting each other on the pitch, and it's a way to enable us all to come together in a different spirit.
Now, this year's competition saw 12 teams participating, including embassies, international organizations, and other institutions. The final match was contested between the Embassy of Ghana and the United Nations team, with Ghana emerging victorious to lift the trophy. To more news, Rwanda's creative industry is continuing to attract international talent, with some not choosing just to invest, but also to give back. One musician is using his skills to train and mentor young people in Rwanda, offering free access to music education and hands-on experience. Now, Enora Gladys speaks to Jerome about turning opportunity into impact. Enora.
I'd like to know, how was your journey from France back here up to here in Rwanda?
So actually I came, it was not really planned. I followed my partner. And I was here and I had that project in mind. You can do everywhere. It's not especially for Rwanda at the beginning. The idea was a social project. So I brought a container of 160 percussion, Brazilian drums, big drums.
Yes.
And the idea is to create a very big band and try to transmit what I know, to train a band of youth people, disadvantaged youth people, and yeah, to have fun, and maybe to do a parade with the kids.
Yes.
I used to do it in France, to do it in Brazil. I did it in Guinea.
Guinea-Bissau or Guinea?
Conakry.
Guinea-Conakry.
I did it there. It was super nice, super fun. I did it in Canada. Most of the countries in Europe. So it's my thing. I'm a guitar player,
yes.
But at the same time, I lead big drum sections of 100 people playing
yes.
together.
When you talk about Mestre de Bateria, what's the meaning? Mestre de Bateria?
Mestre de Bateria.
Okay, what's the meaning of that one?
So basically, you have a bateria is, we call it in Europe, batucada. Both is okay. So it's a big drum section. And to direct the big drum section, you need directors of sections. And the maestro is the director of the directors.
Interesting.
Yeah, because you have to coordinate it. You are playing, and while you're parading, so it's quite complicated. It's so you have, and me, my job is to make the band to have a good breath, and to be in the rhythm, and to say, yeah, I have a whistle, I make a signal, and I make them in the rhythm.
So now you're in Rwanda, and you also got an idea to bring the Brazilian culture into Rwanda, try to collaborate it with the Rwandan culture, with the Rwandan people. What gave you such idea?
So I know the Rwandan people is super proud of their culture, and it's a bit new to receive other culture. To have there are many countries in Africa. They are a hub of culture, and I think in many ways Rwanda is like a hub in business, in sports. They have many sports from everywhere. But when you talk about the culture, even more with drums, because the drums, it's like we want our drums, and
yes,
so I know, I understand that, and I love that, that pride. So for me, it's good to I bring Brazil, and to make some collaboration. We can play together with Rwandan drums. I did it with Arabic drums also, from Algeria. But also the carnival is always about something. So for example, we can say, okay, this year we do the carnival with the kids, and the thematics is Akagera, and all the kids are parade with in a lion, in elephant,
Yes.
So this can be about a region of, and to have every year like a kid carnival about the Rwandan thematic. Yeah, I did.
At what part did Rwanda become part of your story, of course? Because you're now here with your instruments. In a while, they will also be seeing that.
So me here, okay, every person I meet are super positive, and it makes me a better person. Yes. I don't know, there is something here like wise, and also I think it's easy to reach the government. For example, they help me a lot, they support me a lot, the Ministry of Youth and Arts. the musicians are all super nice. I created some bands also here. I mean, yeah, I feel good. This one. Tá legal, eu aceito o argumento, mas não me altera o samba tanto assim. Olha que a rapaziada está sentindo a falta de cavaco, de pandeiro e de tamborim. De cavaco, de pandeiro e de tamborim.
That's Enora Gladys talking to Jerome about turning opportunity into impact. For us, we now take a short break and return with more news in a bit.
Nyiri muto arababwiraga data bati ntabwo wagira umukamo mwinshi utunze inka imwe, ariko nigeze acika intege. Mama akinjira mu bucuruzi hari abamubwiraga bati ntabwo watera imbere udakorera mu iduka rigezweho, ariko ntibyamusubije inyuma, yakoranaga umwete. Njya muri kaminuza hari abanshidikanyagaho bavuga ko nashobora kaminuza naturuka mu muryango wifashije, ariko byarangiye nanditse amateka mashya. Igihe cyo gutera ishema umuryango wanjye kigeze, bamwe bakomeje kumbwira bati ntabwo watera umuryango wawe ibyishimo n'ishema, ariko narabishoboye. Hari abakekaga ko nasigira umurage ukomeye abankomokaho, ariko ubu mfite uruganda rutunganya amata. Banki ya Kigali yabaye umufatanyabikorwa wanjye mu rugendo rwose, inzozi zanjye ziba impamo. Bigereho.
Many thanks for sticking around. This is what is making headlines globally. Pope Leo XIV has departed Monaco after a historic one-day visit to the principality, the first by a pope in nearly 5 centuries since the time of Pope Paul III in 1538. The visit highlights Monaco's deep Catholic heritage, one of the few countries in Europe where Catholicism remains the official state religion. During his stay, the Pope met with members of the local Catholic community and celebrated Mass in a packed sports stadium. Crowds gathered across the tiny coastal state, many lining the streets and palace grounds, waving Vatican and Monte Carlo flags as his open-sided Pope mobile passed by. Monaco, home to around 38,000 people, is both deeply Catholic and highly international, with only a small portion of residents holding citizenship. The visit also comes amid renewed attention to the role of the Church in public life following Prince Albert's recent decision to reject a proposal to legitimize abortion. Tomorrow news, I will tell you that in Israel, strike in southern Lebanon has killed 3 journalists, highlighting the growing danger faced by media workers covering the conflict. Among the dead is Ali Shoibi, a veteran correspondent for RwandaTV, who had reported from the region for nearly 3 decades. Israel says that he was Hezbollah's operative, an allegation his network has not yet responded to. It also killed were Fatima Founi and her brother Mohammed, both working with El Maiden. Fortini had just finished a live broadcast before the strike hit. Lebanon's President Joseph Aoun condemned the attack, calling it a serious breach of laws meant to protect journalists in conflict zones. The Israel military did not mention the other victims in its statements, but according to the Committee to Protect Journalists, at least 5 journalists have now been killed in Lebanon since the conflict escalated earlier this month. Well, with that, we come to the end of tonight's bulletin. My name is William Evans. From me and the rest of the team, have a good night and goodbye.